It's important we look this thing in the broader perspective. Football gave us something very big on the global stage. In 2005, the under-17 team went to play against Brazil, and we beat them. The Brazil of sprinting, short distance sprinting, is Jamaica. When you have one of us running against some of the best athletes in the world, sprinters, that is a massive story for us. Yeah, and I would believe what athletics gave us in 2012, football hasn't given us that. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. And it goes to show that we have the potentials, we have the talents who can at least bring goal, for Gambia in such tournaments. Give
Suwaibu, probably Saruba, and some of the younger sprinters coming on the stage. Give them some few years, and you will see some massive improvements in their output, and that is very important. Football is a collective game. You need to have the number of people, 11 players. You have some others on the bench, but we are talking about sports. We have an advantage here. A small country like Jamaica producing that number of athletes, the likes of Usain Bolt and Johan Blake. If Jamaica can do that, why can't we also, do something, build very good academies, help our sprinters,
have good infrastructure,
and that is very important in the coming years. If 2013 can give us that, it will be a massive improvement on the previous year, and that is what is lacking in our sports.
Good. Well, we also have some events that took place during 2012. Right. Most recently the Super Nawetan, but before that we have Real de Banjul winning the GFA League, Gamtel winning the FA Cup final. But before that we saw Brikama United, the dethroned champions, putting up a very respectable performance in the CAF Champions League. Agent Pass Wakam, the Dakar, the champions of Senegal, before meeting our Esperance de Tunis, the then champions. And a very good
didn't play very well at home. They went back to Dakar and then got the right results and qualified.
Well, recently also, if this is not a very familiar team, but the Gambia Volleyball Under-20 team are the champions of the Zone 2 Under-20 Volleyball Championship, and they just returned from Dakar a few days back, and they will now be representing the Gambia in the African Under-20 Volleyball Championship in March.
That's
this year in Tunisia. So I think that is also a big achievement for Gambian sports.
That is big news, yeah.
Before we go to the internationals, one point that I will ask, can you give me one of your best goals in 2012, Gambian goals, Nawetan, GFA, the national team, although results has not been very good on the side of the national team, but maybe one great goal?
I wouldn't go for a pick because I didn't watch a lot of football.
No, just scratch your mind a bit. Yeah? You watch one of the games on television.
I believe the first goal we scored in the Under-17 female championship in Azerbaijan.
Yeah,
I think that was symbolic.
Yeah, that was symbolic.
Yeah, that will go down in Gambian football folklore as the first Gambian goal in a World Cup tournament by a female Gambian player.
Sultan, the Brikama Bakau game, we were together at the Serekunda Ismini Stadium in the Super Nawetan. There was a goal that was scored, and I saw you clapping. That was a world-class goal. You remember the header?
Brikama Bakau.
Bakau Banjul.
Yeah, not the header. but the strike by the Bakau, their front man.
The
lad who scored a hat-trick.
Classic goals.
Yeah, I was so much. I was even trying to bring the attention of the cameraman when the lad was going out and stripped off his jersey and threw it to the fans.
It tells you the real the talent embedded in our football. Yeah. Seriously, especially local football.
Yeah, he's Usman Mane. He got a hat-trick against.
Yeah, that has to make me talk about community football in the Gambia. I think if we are to forge ahead and if we are to make any significant progress in international football, I think community football has to be promoted. A lot of us follow international club football, but how many of us pay our dime or dalasi to go to the stadium or one of these sites to watch club football, Real de Banjul, Interior, Gambia? Okay, they are here, they are doing good, but community football, I think, must be promoted. But sadly, despite the kind of crowds it attracts, violence continues to mar our zonals year in, year out. So I don't know what is the underlying factor here, but I think communities must also take it upon themselves to talk and implore their people, their fans to...
I wouldn't jump into a conclusion, but I think the parochial, traditional rivalry between some of these settlements. Bakau, Brikama, Lamen, Brikama, Sukuta, Lamen, Sukuta, Gunju. It has nothing to do with violence, but that is the parochial rivalry. It stems down memory lane, and if you go back down there, you realize that it is traditionally, these are traditional, settlements that grew from a very humble beginning together, and that traditional rivalry continues. Individually, people, you'll find out that most of these villages do have even joking relationships. But the moment they converge on the football field, it's a totally different thing. But that is football for you. It increases passion, and if it is not checked, problems to
So what about security? Is it that there is no enough security?
Of course, there are securities, but like Bavgar said, sometimes football, people are so emotional, so passionate about it that, they fight. But what is more important, I think the fans, we need to know that, this is football. No matter how tense it is, no matter how the rivalry, do you understand? It does not warrant us to violence. We have seen bigger rivalries in football. You talk about the Merseyside derby, you talk about the Manchester derby, you talk about the Boca Juniors River Plate derbies, you talk about the Madrid derbies, the El Clasico. These are bigger rivalries. But
I think we need to educate our fans and help them, understand the importance of them being in the game, not as instigators of violence, but to be there as football fans.
Okay.
Another goal that I will remind you is Sekou Gassama strike against Algeria, although it wasn't enough to prevent.
We were beaten 4-1, but that was an absolute belter.
Let's move to the internationals. We have a lot of events. The African Cup, starting with the African Cup of Nations,
Zambia surprised every one of us and won it.
Zambia's victory, I would narrow it down to commitment and dedication and love for the motherland. Well, they were pitted against the big guns. We had the Drogbas, the Ayatollahs, and all the big guns in that competition. But very few people tip Zambia to win that cup. And believe me, it is true. You cannot dispute it. They weren't boasting of those big name players. Had it not been the likes of Christopher Kotongo, whose spirit, his warrior spirit, I think that's one lesson that we also could learn. We don't have our players, rubbing shoulders with the top giants in international football, like the case of Zambia, but they prevail at the end of the day, thanks to what? Commitment. I think that is a lesson for us.
Your memories of the African Cup of Nations?
We started doing the presentation here, and I left you in the latter parts, but I really would remember the performances of Niger in particular. I was really surprised by a country that is not known in the game, but then they really came and then they played their hearts, and that is this. Those days are gone when we sit down and talk about people, footballing nation and non-footballing nation. Teams, countries are prepared to, play the game and then play their hearts and win the game. And I was really